Hip-hop is a cultural movement that began to give voice to the voiceless. Homegrown in Bronx, New York during the mid-1970s, poor residents began to express themselves in many ways. For example, a man named Clive Campbell, also known as DJ Kool Herc, a pioneering disc jockey, DJ, was credited with coining the term b-boy to describe breakdancing. Also, graffiti art was originated and rapping became a way to express their feelings on the happenings that were occurring. During the 1960s, there were numerous groups of minorities that were going through some extremely transitional years for the cultural landscapes of the United States. For instance, there was lack of justice, health care, voting rights, employment, and other everyday privileges of citizenship that were denied them and made them feel powerless. They felt powerless, but blacks also felt disillusioned in their fight for civil rights as the movement lost its focus. This gave way to the demand for black power. Black popular music reflected this change. The voices on the radio stopped preaching brotherhood and togetherness and started reporting the facts, and the music got more aggressive, leading the new attack with a new voice, articulate, uncompromising, and enraged. The voice held the light up to the country's missteps and shook up an apathetic audience. The voice was Gil Scott-Heron's.
There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still lifes of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in a red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit that he had been saving for just the right occasion.
During the emergence of hip-hop,
taking young urban creativity and channeling it into powerful expressions of music and culture.
Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge.
They were able to talk about the pain in their communities and the struggle in their communities, and they were able to teach people about this culture and this community.
Hip-hop provided economic opportunity, empowering industries and creating jobs like no music genre.
Perceived by some as controversial and abrasive group, but admired by others as an empowering and needed voice in hip-hop, Public Enemy stood as one of the most popular and prominent groups in hip-hop during the 1980s. The group countered the rising gangster rap groups by addressing race, injustice, inequality, and a slew of socially, politically, and economically oriented subjects.
89, the number, another summer. Sound of the funky drummer, music hitting your heart, cause I know you got soul.
Public Enemy made hip-hop a legitimate medium for protest and social change. Marvette Perez once said, born out of poverty and the need to draw attention to social conditions, hip-hop is amazingly creative and embodies innovation and invention.
Hip-hop is the revolution that succeeded, altering the way we speak, dress, think, the way music is made, the way the business is done, the way the art is perceived.
The first major all-white hip-hop crew, the Beastie Boys, rose to become one of the most successful groups of the golden age of hip-hop, even though critics and other artists marked them as cultural pirates infringing on other people's territory and cultural practices. As hip-hop moved into the 1990s, it was a dominant force in popular culture as numerous hip-hop artists rose in prominence as icons such as Vanilla Ice, MC Hammer, and Snoop Dogg. They became more than just popular icons when hip-hop artists spoke out against police brutality. When a video recording of 4 white Los Angeles police officers beating a black man named Rodney King was nationally broadcast and the police were acquitted. The acquittal resulted in LA residents taking to the street.
In 3 days of rioting, 53 people had been killed, thousands were injured, and there was more than $1 billion in damage.
Rodney King was the confirmation of everything we have been speaking and rapping about since the early 70s.
It's just like they try to hide what's going on, and we tell it like it is, you know.
It's like going back 35, 40 years ago when the KKK hung people and nothing was done.
There's no justice for the black man at all, period.
I feel we got to do what we got to do to get justice. If there's no justice, there's no peace.
No justice, no peace. Shut the city down.
Parents step up with fire, shooters, looters. To get some respect, we had to tear this dirty mother up.
People said they couldn't understand where all of our rage came from.
Is people sick of the police, and that's when you got a revolution on your hands.
In the ghetto, you think life is hard. Food stamps and tow-up cards.
They awakened Los Angeles to an old identity Los Angeles forgot about. Los Angeles knows how to revolutionize something, no question, but they forgot it. Hip-hop came out and reminded LA that you are gangster, but you are revolutionary.
Since the Rodney King incident, recently a boy named Trayvon Martin was shot and killed by a neighborhood watchman named George Zimmerman because he was walking down the street with a hoodie on. Even though hip-hop artistic forms may have changed, hip-hop still remains a catalyst for racial and social class healing and mediation. The hip-hop community continues to speak out against social justice.
I never thought wearing no hoodie could cost you your life. And I never thought you could just kill somebody and get out the same night.
As they were gunning us down, we fought back with words and thoughts. As they shot at us, we didn't shoot the words at them. We shot the words at their kids. Now who won?
Although these conversations are already ongoing in lyrics, these address what's more important. The young and easily taught generations listening to, understanding, and analyzing hip-hop and becoming actively engaged in discussions about social injustice. But there are downsides to hip-hop as well. Here's what President Barack Obama says.
Honestly, I love the art of hip-hop. I don't always love the message of hip-hop. You know, there are times where even on the ones that even with the artists I named, the artists I love, you know, there's a message that is not only sometimes degrading to women, not only uses the N-word a little too frequently, but also something I'm really concerned about is always talking about material things. You know?
As a cultural movement, no matter what direction it will take in the future, the foundational elements will continue to be present and grounded in social, political, and economic liberation for disenfranchised, rejected, and oppressed youth that keeps them from participating fully as U.S. citizens.
The revolution will not be televised.